Thank you so much, everyone. It's such a privilege to be here in this space with all you empowering and wonderful women. I wanted to start off with a poem that I wrote. I'm going to be self-publishing a poetry book about my life, and I wanted to start off with one. So, I was born into a family with lineages of trauma transferred into my body, manifesting into limitations that broke me until I saw the only way through was to heal. And confronting parts I thought I'd take to my death, to display for others to see, to examine it so deeply that any shame and self-hate would be coated in warmness and understanding. And the harder it got, the more I had to expand my heart. That darkness and fear were just scattered pieces, searching to be discovered, to be loved, to be accepted as a gift and not a curse. The reason I wanted to open with this poem is because it represents so much of my life and my journey up until now. I was born with a physical disability, and I didn't get the correct diagnosis till I was 22 years old. And this has had such an impactful part of my life because, like I said in the poem, there was a part of me that I thought I was going to take this to my grave because there was so much shame behind it and what I carried with it. And when I finally found out my diagnosis, which was mild CP, that's spastic diplegia in my lower legs, it was like a shock, a punch to the gut, and then freedom all at once. And I think when we open ourselves up and can be courageous, vulnerable, and let that line shine in where we hurt the most is where our power is like hiding, and it's just ready to be expanded and born. And my mission, my purpose, I feel, is really to share my story, my experiences, being in community with people who can relate to certain experiences or have aligned goals to make this world better. Because, I mean, just hearing some of the stories and what we have to go through and the struggles, imagine a place where we could create where no child has to go through that. It just seems, I still wonder what life would be like if certain things were presented in a different way. But perspective, I think, is very empowering, because when we shift from that victim consciousness into empowerment, that's where we get our power, that's where we get our voice, that's where we find our truth. And I was a behavior therapist for 10 years that worked with kids with autism and special needs. So I have seen what it's like to try to fit in and be a typical child. And my parents didn't give me that label. They wanted me to be typical and fit in, and they didn't put me in that box. And then working with the autism and special needs population and how people view others that are put in these boxes and these labels, I never viewed my clients as their diagnosis. I always said, okay, this is your goal, we're gonna do it. And they always exceeded my expectations. It was such an honor and privilege to work with that population. And I think when we can accept ourselves and all our perceived flaws, we can open ourselves up and accept others and create that global community, that global healing. And so with working with Gertrude, this community, it's just giving me that fire to really believe that what I went through was for a reason. And just to use my art, my poetry, my story, my voice, whether it's supportively guiding someone one-on-one, is to connect and have that space that I see you and you see me, and inviting people to be who they really are. So thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you all.